Good morning. This is Bill from Auto Europa Naples, and we're back from a little track day this weekend. And as will happen in Spec Miata, we had another little incident on the track. And when I say we, I mean me. So lots of twisted, bent sheet metal. Car's gonna have to go in for a little bit of tweaking. Most of this will obviously buff out. I don't think it's gonna require too much labor, but we'll get it all back together for the next event. So anyway, just for giggles, I'll post that video on the site here soon, after a day or two, and you can see just how really bad fat old guys drive their cars around Sebring again, and what happens when they meet other bad fat old guys. So anyway, on to the next car. Good morning. This is Bill from Auto Europa Naples, and today I have a lovely, cool and cloudy Florida morning. I do have roosters crowing down there in the danger zone, but it sounds like they're far away and not incurring, so we'll keep an eye on them. And I'm lucky enough to have one of the great cars in the automotive world, one of the most respected cars, one of the most beloved cars, and it's a fascinating car all around. This is a 2006 Porsche Cayman S. Now, a Cayman is, and God forbid, I'm just going to say it, it's essentially a Boxster with a tin roof. Now, there's going to be some people who are very unhappy with that, but it's undeniable. You've got the Boxster front end, you've got the Boxster doors, all of a sudden there's a tin top on it, but it is the same platform, mid-engined transaxle layout. And it is a fantastic car. Now, it is a little bit wider in the back than the Boxster. They made some suspension tweaks to it. They used a different motor. And in the Porsche lineup, it was at least an 06. You hear that? You hear that rooster? Getting a little bit closer. Anyway, it was supposed to bridge the gap between the Boxster and the 911, and it did that very, very well. One of the great secrets of this car is that in so many ways, it is superior to its big brother, the 911. Now, again, some of the Porsche guys are going to get on my case for that, but it's sort of undeniable, because when Porsche started building the 911, they did it in a very strange way. Ferry Porsche, brilliant guy. Obviously anyone who could design the Beetle for Hitler is a pretty brilliant guy. But after the war, he wanted to make something that he thought a car should be, that was performance-oriented, fun to drive, quick, safe, and an absolute blast to haul ass. And so he started building these things, but he started with this ass-engined thing that, by its very nature is rear heavy, difficult to control, and not exactly the optimum way to set up a car for weight distribution. So they built that thing, and then for 50 years they've been trying to correct the initial design flaw, and of course they've done a stellar job. I mean, the 911 is a terrific handling car, an icon beloved the world over. But to do it all again, you might want to start with something a bit better in terms of balance, and that would be a car like this, which is mid-engined. So you've got all the weight of the engine right behind the driver and maybe the passenger are balancing that weight out, and you end up with a very good weight distribution. I think it's a little rump heavy, like 55-45, but infinitely more balanced than any 911. Undeniably, with the tin top on this car, the styling has become absolutely gorgeous. Some people don't like the bubble top because it doesn't facilitate a sunroof. I do. I think it looks fantastic. I love this long swooping hatch area in the back. The way the car was sort of designed to emulate the original 550 Spider, which is, of course, the car that killed James Dean, and another incredible automotive icon. The car's fast, very, very quick, actually, meaning that most people you meet on the street are just going to end up getting this view of it. They did change the engine from the Boxster, so this thing has about 295 horsepower, and what they did was they took this 3.2-liter Boxster S block, they bored it out a little bit, so it's now 3.4 liter, in fact right in between the 911 and 06, which was 3.6 liter, had about 20 or 30 30 more horsepower. And then they use the cams and in fact, the whole aluminum head assembly off the 911. So it has VarioCam Plus and breathes like, you know, a guy with giant nostrils. It just is super easy to find a flat power curve all the way through the rev band, like any Porsche should be. This car is just epic to drive. I mean, if you could say it suffers from anything, it's that Porsche just wouldn't allow it to be faster than the 911 in terms of having the same amount of horsepower, because that would just hurt, you know, the reason to go spend the extra dough for that. So anyway, before I ramble on, let's just get into the car. To release the hatch in the front, you've got these two little electric releases there. Never been a big fan of that frunk word. There you can see a very useful cargo area, quite nice. You know, use soft luggage, but if you do, in combination with the front trunk, you're going to be able to do a weekend getaway with no problem. You also have a nice little net here if you have any babies to strap down, or wiener dogs, or, you know, cargo of some kind, maybe an attaché case. You know, if you're going to be doing any kind of track type driving, don't put a carton of eggs there. You're going to end up wearing them. This little panel here, if you open it up, you'll find access to where the water and the oil is, the filler and checker for the car. And of course, under this is where you would find that big flat six 3.4 liter engine. So all very lovely there. I think I can lift this up, maybe not. Nah, that's all down. So probably uses run flats, this car. This little guy right here is an electronic spoiler. It lifts up at about 75 miles an hour and keeps the rump end planted. I like the little bumperettes, and love the tied together twice pipes there at the bottom. And all this rear end work, you know, these fenders are, it's all special to the Cayman. Oh, already popped it. Alright, so let's have a look in the frunk. It's just a dumb word, frunk. Anyway, a nice deep area there where you can stuff some, you know, some luggage, get what you need in there. Nice and deep. You can see the mats are in there. Pop this guy open. You have the drive for the navigation. Lovely. What is that? An emergency release. If you get stuck inside the frunk, you'll be able to pull that and get out. You see these nice big xenon headlamp assemblies, crystal clear, lovely. They work great. Little headlight washers here. And then, of course, the front end of the Cayman is specific to the Cayman with those integrated fog lamps and everything looking real nice. To close it, just let it drop like that. Put your palm over the Porsche emblem and give it a little tap. Love the aero mirrors. The car just looks fantastic. Just absolutely fantastic. This has the optional 19-inch aero wheels. I don't know where I'm getting that from. Carrera wheels. Look great on the car. Nice wheel option for it. You see those big vented rotors with the S's signature red calipers. Everything looking real nice in there. And just a fantastic wheel tire combo on this car. The one thing you can say about this thing is it is a track day hero. I mean, you drive this car on a track and it has more capabilities than you do, and it just becomes such an incredible friend. It starts off as a tool, it becomes a bigger part of you, and by the time you're done with a few laps, it's just, you know, your lifelong intimate friend. You know every move it's going to make, beautifully balanced, and just a lovely car to throw around. Like the big scoops there in the side to, you know, bring air into the motor. Nice fluids. It's just a lovely car. Okay, here you can see beautiful gray leather inside. This has the power seats, which are nice. Manuals are good, but I like the power. Has lumbar as well. Very simple Teutonic interior, a little bit upgraded from the Boxster, but not at 911 standards. You have a little map pocket here to throw your 9mm in. You got side airbags, you got memory seats, you see the Bose sound. Neat little jet intake thruster door pull. You got your power windows, power mirrors. You've got your key over here, Le Mans style. Of course, that's a bit of a Porsche standby. And let's get in and go for a spin. And of course, that's what this car is all about, driving. That is the whole point of its existence. Our seat up for short guys. twist of the key, and on comes that big flat six. So, you know, this thing just sounds like a Porsche. You get all that lovely mechanical whirring. You get the, you know, the feel of the rumble right behind you, which is quite nice. You've got a lovely little laid out instrument cluster here, the tach dead center, temp and fuel over to the right, and miles per hour is an afterthought there. And this thing will run to 172 miles an hour, so it's a pretty quick car. 0 to 60 times, Porsche said 5.1, but everyone who tested them found out they're faster, they're under 5. Again, maybe an effort from Porsche to not incur on the performance figures of the 911. Nice smooth dash up there, nice soft materials. You've got Porsche's, I don't remember what they call this thing, not PSM, PCM, with navigation, nice, works pretty good. Wish I could get the light off because it's just, yeah, there we go. Anyway, works great. Nice sound out of there with the Bose. You've got automatic climate control down there. This thing will manually run the rear wing if you want to put it up, and Porsche stability management that turns it on and off. You've got their SOS, that's that sort of Porsche version of OnStar, lock and unlock. These sort of kind of over-engineered, ridiculous cup holders. They're designed to break pretty quick. Glove box to put stuff with some CD storage. Beautiful little leather, simple shift knob with an aluminum top, 6-speed gearbox in this car. In fact, the first two gears are tri-mesh. They're a little bit different from the Boxster, and they're geared differently to give you more pull, more acceleration. Little pocket down there, little ashtray. You got a center console here. All very lovely, simple, Teutonic, like the, you know, interestingly designed rear view. You've got your HomeLink, I don't know if you can see any of this, HomeLink garage door, nice stuff. Now we're gonna go for a spin. I'm gonna try my weird left-handed shifting. Okay, so we're cold, so I don't want to hammer the thing too much. But man, would I like to. And you just get this incredible feel. I mean, this thing, again, you know, in a test was faster around the Nürburgring than a 911 when driven by a rally champion. Who knows who was driving the 911? But it's, again, it's so balanced. I just have this feeling that if Porsche were going to redesign the 911, start all over again, they would be doing very well to start with this mid-engine platform. So I'm going to short shift a little bit because of the temperature. And of course I've got Dodge Dakotas in front of me going 12 miles an hour. But what a driver's car. I mean, you just feel interconnected with every part of this machine. The steering, incredible on-center feel, beautiful effort. The effort is varied, but you know, when you're driving, the effort is perfect. The brakes have a perfect feel, no fade at all. They'll stop it again and again and again in exactly the same way. The suspension just handles the curves with incredible assurity. Oh God, what a fun car to drive. I wish it were a little bit hotter. I had to start nailing it. Give it a little time to wake up, especially getting into that VarioCam Plus at 6,000 RPM. I think we're hot enough to give it a little bit of a push. So anyway, there it is. I mean, if you have this thing where you think Boxsters are just not macho enough, you know, you can't have one, it's just not what you think it should be, the Cayman will correct that hugely. You will end up, you know, feeling that you're in a car that maybe has more, you know, poise and drivability than a 911 for a lot less money. That intake, oh my God, what an absolute instant response. Throws your head back, lovely feel all around. Man, this car is an absolute champion. Porsche designed a winner. It's going to age very well. I think they're as cheap now as they're going to get. Time will see these things heading back upward again, I would say, particularly the S models. They just have that incredibly lovely vibe to them. If you have an interest in this one, give us a call, 239-298-8000. On the web at aenaples.com. And again, essentially, this may just be the perfect sports car. I think there's a strong chance that it is. Beautifully engineered, beautifully balanced, not overpowered, not underpowered, just absolutely flawlessly designed. Thank you so much for having a look. We really appreciate it. We'll see you with the next one. Take care.